Good morning. Happy Tuesday. This is your daily spiritual guidance reading for today. Let's see what the energy is. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Um, it's a collective reading, it's not personal, so some information may resonate and some may not. If you hear me sniffing throughout this reading, I do apologise. With the schools being back, the lurgy has entered the house. So everybody is sniffing, sneezing, and coughing. So everybody is being majorly injected with vitamin C at the minute. So if I start to sniffle, I do apologise, but it is a seasonal colds are going about. So I hope you're keeping well. That could be a message for somebody as well. Maybe you need to start taking a little bit more vitamin C just in preparation for the autumn season. Ground from the root. There we go. Number 5. Feel, don't think. Number 4. Oh, feels like somebody may have rushed ahead here just with these numbers 5 and then going 4. Somebody may have jumped a few steps or may have thought they were further ahead or they, how can I put this? It feels as if it's like there was a few steps that weren't necessary, so we jumped ahead only now to realise that no, actually we should have done those steps. 17, clear limiting beliefs. So there might be something here where we thought, oh, we're sort of over something, and perhaps it's sort of resurfacing again. Perhaps with the full moon there on Sunday, there's something that has shown up for you again that you thought you had dealt with, and it turns out that it's still having an effect on you. So it might be something that needs to be revisited here. What else do we need to know for Tuesday's energy, please? There we go. Vulnerability is power, 39. So a sense of trying to be strong about something. We've tried to sort of be like, right, I know that's done and dusted. I'm over that. I'm moving on. That doesn't affect me anymore. And it's almost a feeling of like deceiving yourself or of trying, if I say it to myself, it'll be the truth. It'll just magically disappear or it'll not raise its head again. Stop pushing and striving, 15. Yeah. Sort of like it's that feeling of if I just push forward here, then this'll go away and this'll solve itself and I won't have to really look at it any deeper. Gratitude for the past. Yeah. Something happened here in the past and you sort of went right, fast forward movement, that's done and dusted. I don't really need to, take any deeper look at it. Um, I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything's good. Don't need to worry about anything. Let's push forward with it. Only now, maybe it has been this feminine energy have brought it about, and you've actually had to sort of sit with it and go, no, this actually does still trigger me. There's this situation still triggers me. So what does the collective need to know for Tuesday here? What do we need to know about this? Yeah, healing. There's still some healing need to be done around this. Okay. Where we thought we had sort of overcome something. And I think there's a feeling here that it's almost like you may be feeling a bit of defeat by admitting that. You know that you want to feel, well, I'm well past this now. I shouldn't be feeling this way anymore. Four of Pentacles. It's that feeling of I'm over this. I shouldn't be feeling this way about this situation anymore. Really kind of being hard on yourself. Um, the Empress. really being hard on yourself here. And the thing about healing is, and it can be quite frustrating because you can feel that you're further forward and then something happens and it seems to push you way back and you're like, when's this ever going to end? But there's something here about this situation or something that happened here that it's very relevant at this moment in time that you need to stop and think about it. Whether there's something new going to come in or there's a revisiting of a situation here, I feel that is going to trigger that or has already triggered that wound. And it's almost like they're taking you a step back to, to make you think about it and go, right, okay, that happened. How did you deal with it? Because it may show up again. So you may need to revisit it, sit with it, do a little bit of healing work. So when that comes up again, you'll know how to deal with it. Four of Wands. Ace of Cups. This is either a feeling of a past love situation um, resurfacing, or it's a new love situation going to come in here. And it's like, right, how are you going to approach this relationship? What did you learn from the last one? Ace of Swords. Did you learn from the last one, the last relationship? This is really important that you need to be upfront and transparent about what you want. Was the last relationship perhaps a little bit of a whirlwind of sort of, I'll go with the flow here and I'm not really setting my terms out of what I expect from a relationship. So therefore, nobody really knew. It was just like, we're floating along here and we're seeing what happens. Four of Cups. So that past relationship maybe made you feel like this. You weren't getting fulfilled in what you wanted because you didn't speak up and say, this is what I expect from a relationship. This is what I want to get from a relationship. So there's a bit of a revisiting of past situation here of you know, what did I not verbalize in that relationship? What boundaries did I not put in place there that would make me happy? And it's possibly a situation here too of this people pleasing and bending over backwards for somebody else. Knight of Swords, bending over backwards for somebody else and making them happy and, sacrificing your own happiness. And it's now, if this is either the past, so there's somebody rushing here, rushing in. It's either the past is rushing in or there's somebody new here. And this is a case of, don't rush into something again. Think about how you started that last relationship or the one that really triggered you, the one that really triggered the heart to open. How did you start that relationship? Did you rush into it? Did you really know the person before you got deeply involved with them? Knight of Pentacles. Take it slowly. There's no need to rush. What's meant for you will never pass you by. If this person is meant to be in your life, they will fully understand and take it at your pace. The Lovers. So learn from the last mistake. That's possibly why you might be feeling that you're being triggered at the minute. King of Pentacles here. You may be feeling triggered this weekend past has maybe just brought a few things up for you. Queen of Swords. And it's maybe you're in a little bit of a defense mode. That if this new person comes in, Feeling more new here than I am feeling the old at the minute. But I feel that, you're showing up here as the Queen of Swords. You're showing up as being quite, you know, there's not a lot of emotion here. It's very logic. We're being very logical about it. And that's maybe part of the healing work that needs to be done here too. It's not necessarily about, you know, we need to feel with the heart. The heart is the one that tells us, that that's our intuition. So, it's not logical mind. You're maybe sitting going, I am not going through that again. So I'm going to use my logical mind as to what suits me and what doesn't. But that does not bring in true love. You have to use your heart. So there may be something around that. Justice. There may be something around that where you just need to sort of say, right, I'm not going to rush in and give my whole heart to somebody here and bend over backwards and be a doormat where they get to do what they want. And I'm the one that's left sitting in this situation again, where I'm the one who's sitting sad and feeling, that they're getting all the happiness and they're doing what they want, and I'm the one sitting here worrying and not knowing what's going on and wondering, what is this relationship, and am I really valuable to this person? Do they really want to be with me? And I just feel there was conversations with the past relationship that wasn't had that should have been. And temperance is here. This is what you want. This is the type of relationship you want. You want that balanced energy, the 50-50. Everybody knows what's expected and everybody treats each other with the same amount of respect here. And I think this is a very mature reading, a really sort of spiritually mature reading here, that some of you or whoever resonates with this is actually sitting and looking at it from a real point of view of what mistakes did I make? Because, this past person made a lot of mistakes, but you allowed them. You allowed it to happen because the conversations weren't had, the boundaries weren't set, you weren't clear and precise about what you expected from this person. So they were just kind of like, I can do what I want. And the collective will just take it, which you did. So it's that the moon. It may that you may have been triggered at the weekend regarding this. Maybe you did receive some sort of communication from the past, and it's kind of like made you question how healed am I here, or but that communication, if that is the case, and you did get some sort of communication or some sort of trigger, or you received some sort of news, something regarding the past, it was very deliberate from spirit because they want you to sit and think here because there is a King of Pentacles en route. So are you ready for them? Eight of Wands. Yeah, you may have received communication here at the weekend or some type of communication about something. It's something that has triggered you regarding the past here. And that's what they're wanting you now to sit and think about it and think, you know, there's new love en route here. Have you learnt Page of Pentacles? Have you learnt to take it slow? Don't rush in. Don't give away, you know, don't just fully put your heart into it, but don't be so closed off to it either. There's a balance here, which is the Temperance, Seven of Cups. Take your time to weigh your options up. Is this new person coming in a good option for me? This could be a test as well. This person, this person coming in could be a test to see, are you ready for true love? This person may not be it. They could be just testing you to see, have you learnt here about rushing into something? Maybe the test could be, is the collective going to rush in again? Or have they learned and they're ready for their actual person to come in? Very strong emphasis on slowing it down, but also, strength card here. If there's a question over, are you strong enough to set those boundaries? I would definitely say you are. There's a real strong maturity, as I said, over this reading. Those the devil here, but I mean, to me, that's sort of like the bad habits of not speaking up and the bad habits of not having the boundaries in place here. I feel we're overcoming that. That's the thing, you know, the thing of the past, the stress, the anxiety of, reliving something here has been the Six of Pentacles, yeah, like the breadcrumbing. It's reliving this has been sort of like being brought back into your attention again to say, do you remember those things that happened? Are you ready to block them and leave them behind? Or are you just going to, somebody comes in and with a bit of charm here and a bit of chat and you're like back to square one again, rushing in, doing everything you can to please them. And, with this sort of mindset of, oh, if I love them enough, they'll love me back. That doesn't bring in the true love. You gotta love yourself unconditionally by putting those boundaries in place that brings the true person in. Three of Pentacles. Wanting that, mutual respect and thoughtfulness and yeah, wanting that Ten of Cups, going at it from a different direction here. Seeing now what you need to do and say in a relationship to Queen of Pentacles, get what you want. This is counterpart. We have a King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles here. We have counterparts. It's now seeing what I need to do here. And also a big strong with the healing card here too, a big strong emphasis on you are worthy of it. I want to say that. I want to say there may be some people out there that are a wee bit, maybe that's part of what the healing work needs to be done or looked at a bit more. You are worthy of this. Page of Wands and the Chariot. That's a nice movement forward. That's nice, smooth communication, open communication about what I want. This is what I want and what I expect. Are you willing to do that too? And if you're not, well, then I'm off. And if you are, well, then let's go. Really nice energy here. I mean, somebody has done unbelievable amount of healing work on themselves. Something, if you are feeling this trigger, it's for a reason. I think there has been something that has come up here regarding the past that has made you stop and think, and you've sort of been like, have I really sat with that energy and really healed it, or have I just brushed it under the carpet? Let's see. Pride and freedom is here. I'm going to read you pride because I feel with this there may have been a certain level of this of like I want to appear more over this situation than I am. That perhaps it's a case of you don't want to give the past person the satisfaction of, knowing that you're still sort of hurt about this. So perhaps, there has been a little bit of skipping the steps here rather than actually sitting with it. So let's read this. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. You need to take time to honor and acknowledge who you are and what your soul has accomplished with your life thus far. You should look at your past soul choices and be mindful of how through your positive actions, compassion, and understanding, you have made a better life for yourself and others. How have you changed the world in some little way? Have you shared insights with others? Reflect on what you have mastered. You should never underappreciate or underestimate yourself or your accomplishments. Now is the time for you to remember how brave you have been throughout your journey. Celebration is required. Humans tend to spend too much of their energy and time on negative emotions or what they have not done. This card signifies that you should take rightful ownership of who you are and how you have shared your unique light with the world. It may also be a perfect time for you to look around and acknowledge those other souls who have also accomplished many great things and who need to be reminded of them. Feel this stems back to what I said at the start about maybe feeling that you've you've put yourself a few steps forward only to realize you've been brought back again. But they want you to appreciate how far you actually have came. You're further forward than you think, but it's kind of this case of you know making sure that you're healing from the foundation, that there's not parts being skipped here, and it's about seeing your worth and who you are. And when entering a new relationship here, you know your worth and what you expect. I'm going to go to extend it with this. If you resonate with it and you want to join me, the link will be below. We'll take a look at what's coming here, any blockages that might be in your way, and what the outcome is, and then we'll get you some angelic advice too.